Hi everyone. Now the chances are that by now you will have seen this video that was taken in a Bookmakers in Oxfordshire of this guy who quite clearly is very angry and has obviously suffered a significant loss. I believe it's £500 on the FOBTs. If you haven't seen it, we'll watch the video first and I'll just give you my opinions on it after that.
We have somebody for our machines. We have somebody running the machine, please. With the Betfreds and Cowley, we have a young lady here putting the machines about, we're smashing them up. We need assistance urgently. No, it's Betfreds in Cowley. Betfreds, Temple Square, Cowley. One second. Oh, X4 3YQ. Yeah, we're behind the counter at the moment, but he smashed all the machines up.
So there you have it. It turns out that actually he caused significantly more damage than you can see in the video. There's a couple of photos as well that were shared on Twitter that you can see he's destroyed all the betting terminals and the FOBTs and the TVs in the shop as well. So quite a significant amount of damage, quite a significant amount of money's worth of damage caused. As we can imagine, there was quite a split reaction on Twitter. You know, there's a lot of people that support his behaviour, that say that, you know, they've considered doing similar things. And I think, to be fair, if you've played FOBTs and you've had losses on FOBTs in Bookmakers, yeah, there will be times where you've actually got angry at whether it be yourself or the machine, but you do your anger manifests, and you know, maybe you bashed a button, you've given it a bit of a kick or whatever. I know I have. To be fair, I've always been quite restrained. I've never gone out my way to cause damage to machines, but I think that there is probably quite a fine line, and obviously in this instance, the guy has, you know, he's cracked, he's lost his temper, and that's the result of it. Now, as you can imagine, there's quite a lot of people supporting this guy's actions, saying, you know, about FOBTs and about how they are the crack cocaine of gambling and how they shouldn't be allowed. And to an extent, I agree. I think the world would be a better place, certainly this country would be a better place, if there wasn't, you know, 3 or 4 bookmakers on every high street and a significantly higher concentration of them in more economically deprived areas. I think they're predatory in the way that they're marketed, particularly, like I say, in poorer areas. And I do think as a society here in the UK, we would be better off without all these bookmakers and certainly without the FOBTs. However, in my opinion, it doesn't excuse this guy's behaviour. Ultimately, what he is doing, you know, it's a crime. And I think aside from the physical damage he's causing, if we watch the bit of the video again, where the lady behind the counter is on the phone.
One second. Oh, X4 3YQ.
You can hear that she's visibly shaken by the experience. You can hear her voice on the phone. She's obviously calling the police, and she's visibly shaken. And that's not going to go away the second this guy gets led away or leaves the shop. She'll now probably have that fear of this happening again. It'll probably stop her wanting to go to work. And if we consider that this woman is innocent, she doesn't own the bookies, she doesn't own the machines, she's just doing her job, and probably not for an awful lot of money either. So my sympathies are with her. And regardless of what you think of FOBTs, what you think of bookmakers, if you are acting in that manner, in that an aggressive way, albeit not towards the counter staff, but if you're acting that aggressively and you're quite clearly causing fear to her and possibly to other people in the shop, then regardless of what you think of FOBTs and bookmakers, that's not right. That is criminal behaviour and that should be punished. Also, if you think, well, good for him because he's sticking it to the bookmakers, he won't be. Because ultimately, there's a very, very high chance that bookies are insured against malicious damage of this type. It's also unlikely they're going to lose an awful lot of custom. I guarantee that within hours, there would have been a scientific games van outside that bookies replacing or repairing the damaged machines. So they won't want to lose out on taking, so they will be reopened within 24, 48 hours, having lost a very minimal amount of money. And those who are going to that Betfred anyway, chances are there's a Ladbrokes or a Corals or even another Betfred 100 yards down the road they could go to. So if people wanted to go and play the FOBTs, they'll go and play them somewhere else. The FOBTs will come back into that bookies and they'll be up and running again in no time. So you're not sticking into the bookies at all. The people who play them will just play them elsewhere. This particular shop will be up and running again in no time, and there'll just be a slight redistribution of wealth between the bookmaking companies, but certainly nothing they'll notice. It's also a huge waste of resources, and I'm not talking necessarily about the physical property of the bookmakers, of the machines, of the TVs. Again, you know, like I say, it's probably slightly satisfying seeing someone put a chair through a FOBT, but it's a waste of the police's time. It's a waste of innocent people's time, the staff who then have to go and clean up the mess. It's a waste of taxpayers' money who have to pay for the police to go and attend these matters, which are a lot more common than this video would make out. This video got spread quite widely, I think, because it was on court on video, and also it was quite a significant reaction by the guy who was playing the machine. A lot of the time people will just break one machine or they'll punch it or whatever. This guy obviously quite systematically caused a significant amount of damage, therefore the video was shared. Because, like I say, as much as I can't condone this behaviour, I will admit there was something quite satisfying seeing someone carry out what we've all considered doing probably at some point after a loss on the FOBTs. So what do you think? You know, I think a lot, again, because every time I say something that doesn't echo the, you know, yeah, smash all bookies up, you know, close them all down, hate them all, they're all scum. Whenever I don't echo that sentiment, people seem to think that I'm somehow sticking up for bookies, sticking up for FOBTs. You know, like in the series of videos I made about whether or not they're fixed, everyone thought I was backing up, supporting the FOBTs. I don't support FOBTs, but I think it's important to understand the realities of them, and the fact that this guy, you know, he's not solving his problem. He's not solving the problem of FOBTs full stop. He's creating issues. He's creating expenses. He's creating disturbance, distress, panic for this lady behind the counter. He's not solving the problem of FOBTs. So I'm not supporting them. I'm not supporting the bookmakers, but I am saying that this behaviour can't be condoned. Regardless of what you think about the machines, you cannot condone this behaviour and making light of it, making fun of it, saying, oh, I wish everyone would do this. It's not constructive. If we're going to do something, we need to be campaigning against them, not just causing some damage to some machines in one shop somewhere in Oxfordshire. It doesn't achieve anything. But let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, on this particular video. Let me know your thoughts below. As always, pleasure speaking to you. Subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and I will catch you on the next one. See you soon, guys.